chi Dagi Chenyen Gipe Sanam Ki Jola Penchir Sangye Drupar Shok Sangye Chedam Soki Chognam La Jangchu Bardu Dagni Kyapsuchi Dagi Chenyen Gipe Sanam Ki Jola Penchir Sangye Drupar Shok. Okay, quiz.
All right.
I was trying to make easy questions. I couldn't do it. They're hard questions. Sorry.
It's okay.
What are 4 stupid thoughts related to the truth of the source? I'll give you a hint.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, it's purity.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
No. The source. Truth of the source.
Oh,
Source.
source.
Truth of the source. Yeah.
You had that last time.
Yes.
Well then, I don't know.
I'll give you a hint.
Oh.
One of them is, the first one is that thinking something unrelated to the result could cause it.
Okay.
And this stuff kind of relates to some of the stuff that came up in Venerable Utpala's text. At least the next one does, and that's a hint. Big hint. Some of the Mushi Kengo.
Hey, don't look at me. I'm
Mushi Kengo.
just a
Wordsky.
professor. Thank you.
In one of the 4 ways.
A single
Denying
plant
or
couldn't
possibly.
produce multiple.
Cause, result.
Yeah, okay. The first one is that thinking something unrelated to the result could cause it. The second one is thinking that a single cause could cause multiple results. The third one has to do with Sowo,
Oh, thinking it could have come from God.
in a way which was premeditated. Yeah.
Whoa,
Okay.
did you say that?
Yeah.
You
Oh,
were cheating. That's one way to pass a test.
Intelligent design.
and then the last one also has to do with that same school. Even more specifically,
Oh, the result is in the cause?
no, but you're in the right school because.
Thank
Hey
you.
John, what was the 4th one? It's just somebody showing their something. Yeah.
But I didn't read it.
Oh, you didn't read
I
it?
didn't read it.
All right. It's just Prakriti showing its manifestations. Okay, good job, guys. All right. What consequence does Gyaltsab mention for the idea that the something that something existed before its cause? What about if it didn't exist before its cause?
If something existed before its cause,
Then it wouldn't need to be caused.
It wouldn't depend on its cause.
Right.
Yeah, good.
Okay, fine.
And if it didn't exist before the cause,
Um,
it's a little bit more tricky.
then how could it have a relationship with its result?
I wish he said that, actually. Yeah, I don't understand the actual... I don't really understand the answer he gave, if that's a hint.
It's-
If it didn't exist before the cause, it would be close.
It's unchanged.
Then it would have no relation.
$20. 20,
Oh, then how could
20
it
bucks.
like do
Wait,
the act,
someone's giving away money besides me.
how could it do the act of being born or do the act of being caused? Like how could it do something?
No, that's good though. I kind of wish it said that too. $40. $40. Come on.
Whoa.
Jog the memory.
Wait, what's the question?
What consequence did Joseph mention for the idea that something didn't exist before its cause?
It wouldn't wear out.
Is this the reflection in the mirror thing you mentioned?
It's close. It's super close.
Fish live in the ocean.
Too late. I'm gonna give you.
Oh, yeah.
If it didn't exist before the cause, it would be artificial, a ghostly shadow of itself.
If it didn't exist before the cause.
I don't understand this.
That's worth $30.
Why? Because reflection and artificial are both words?
If it was just a creation,
Well,
you see what I mean? The idea is it just a new creation? It's so flimsy.
yeah.
If it wasn't sitting there in its cause for millions of years,
Then it's
so,
new.
It's
so
so new and flimsy. And that's like,
Great, since
Okay.
this is what we accept.
confuses me. Yeah. Someone. That's it.
brrr.
Someone comes along and says that things that worldly people say start from their own side must. I think I was tired.
Probably.
I'm
Yeah.
inclined to believe it.
Must start from their own side. What reason do they give?
Why,
People.
why must things start from their own side?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and they do give a reason, these worldly
Oh, yeah.
people. 20
Oh,
bucks,
yeah,
20
yeah.
bucks,
Okay.
20 bucks. Yeah.
Yeah, we accept.
Huh?
Yeah.
If you looked at the answer, you can't answer them.
No, I didn't.
40 bucks.
Oh my God.
It's going up.
If they didn't exist from their own side.
No, no, no.
No, this is what worldly people are thinking.
Oh, no, they think they do.
Right.
Worldly people think
Right.
things do exist.
Why?
Yeah. Why did? Why?
They say
Why
that
would?
if they didn't?
Oh.
They couldn't work.
Oh, you're gonna give it tongue. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, so if they didn't exist from their own side, they wouldn't exist at all.
It's a good try, but no. Yeah. And my cutting you off was a hint to the rest of you that it's not like stated that way. It's not stated through if it didn't.
Yeah.
All
me.
right. Okay. Because nicknames have a basis in reality.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because they refer to something. There's a hint of truth.
Yeah. Exactly. Like stereotypes.
Like
There's
Yeah.
some truth behind every stereotype. Sexy Tibetan words. Oh, good. Scott gets to be here for my fancy slide. I
Don't
made
show
this-
that to Scott. He might kick out.
Look how it flashes. Okay, these go in increasing difficulty order. Wait, come on, pop up. There we go. This one's easy.
Misspelled.
Really?
I think so.
Does it have an owl? An owl
Yeah, I
with
think
jung?
so.
On the Jung.
Yeah,
I think so.
Could
I'm
be.
not
You
sure.
could tell that I
think
did a lot of weird typing in this homework.
Okay.
So yeah, thank you.
Truth originates.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, because this slide is so heavy, it takes a while for the next pop up. Okay, Chema.
Ooh, that's a
Yeah.
nice one.
Yes.
Wow.
20 points.
Yes. Okay, this one is taking a while. Come on. Okay.
Whoa.
Hint: all of these related to the homework
Whoa,
questions.
that's a nice one.
Yeah.
That's a hard one.
Is this the nickname?
Yeah.
Yeah. Something that's a nickname doesn't hit a reality.
Yeah, something that has
Yeah, nice.
nicknames have a basis in reality. Nice.
Have some substantial basis. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. All right. Cool. You take the plane, please.
Yay, here we go. I'd like to welcome this guy, what's his name? Scott Basic,
Yay.
to the class. He's the vice president of DCI, and he's the part owner of DCI in 35 countries, 20 countries, 35 cities.
Correct.
Something like that. And this is Wang Xia. She's in charge of the Shanghai branch of DCI. And she runs around the whole world. She runs the Diamond X program, which is speaker program for companies and things like that. So she's like to welcome them. Thank you.
Yay.
That's all the new people. Okay. Get your microphone.
Here's your microphone.
All right, here we go.
Oh, you take the plane.
Oh, sorry.
Please.
That was my 59th class. This is my 60th class. Something like that.
Today?
Not counting your downstairs class.
That's just
Oh,
fun downstairs. You guys are hard. Okay, here we are. By the way, here's the outline where we are. We were going to deny that things could grow, and then we're going to deny that things could stop.
Yes.
And we finished those two steps, and now we're having a wrap up by Nagarjuna. So you want to talk about your text just for a minute?
Yeah.
Slowly.
There's a book called by Nagarjuna called the 60 Verses on Reasoning, and it's one of his famous 6 books on logic. And in this book, he's using the scriptures of the lower way to prove to them that they already accept the emptiness, the way that it's described by the higher way, or the way that it's accepted by the higher way. But he's showing them that they already accept it based on what they already accept. And we're translating a commentary by Gyaltsabje, who's one of the main students of Jason Kappa, the hero of our lineage. And Gyaltsabje is kind of cranky and very sarcastic and hard to decipher, but he's deep. He's a deep thinker, and we're trying to untangle the meaning of the words of his commentary, which is trying to untangle the meaning of the words of the root text. And we're in a part where we were just talking about whether things could start or stop from their own side. Actually, we still are. Now he's wrapping up a section of the text, which is classic Nagarjuna, whether things start or stop from their own side.
What might be a business use of this idea? Like Kongxing emptiness or what is
Well, if you...
give a crazy example. How can you use this in a business?
if somebody cheats you, or let's put it this way, if you're thinking of a way that your business could become more successful, and you're thinking that the thing you could do is maybe find a good way to get out of your taxes, get out of paying taxes, but then you understood that your tax bill doesn't start or stop from its own side, meaning it's not you don't get the amount of money that the government is charging you doesn't not depend upon seeds that you've planted in the past, then you might take a kind of action. You might pay it and pay a little extra, or do some other things involving generosity to help your tax bill be lower, rather than trying to find sneaky methods to not pay your tax bill.
Okay, good.
Okay.
How to make more money by not cheating. Okay, good.
I have
okay.
a high tax bill that I have to deal with. Right
Yeah, tell me. I'll show you mine someday. Okay.
That's scary.
So we're going to wrap up. Here's the Sanskrit. So his text is very old. His text is 2,000 years old. And part of the Sanskrit exists and part of the Sanskrit is missing. And this is a note about the missing 2 lines. Let's take it apart, okay?
All right.
Nice.
And I think I need John's help.
Yeah.
Chiang kewa me. Na means me, he, at all. Utpadyate.
Utpadyate.
That grows, right?
Kewa.
Kim chin means anything at all. Chiang.
Chiyang.
Napi, there isn't.
Not even.
And nothing roots, nothing stops. Chiang gakpa mingyuro. Okay, that's all. That wasn't so hard after all. Okay, here we go.
Yeah. Te tarik pe nam par chepana chiyang rang tang shenki ngowo kewa mela rang tang shenki ngowo chiyang gak par yang mingyorte nel jor pe chiyang mikpa medho shepe tunto.
Okay, data rikpe, number chepana. What's that mean?
This verse says that if we examine that logic,
Rikspa. Okay.
If we examine that logic,
Yeah, if we check things with logic, meaning do things stop or do things start, then we will find out that Chiyang Kiwame.
Nothing is born.
there is not a kind of starting. That nothing starts.
Nothing ever starts.
No,
Usually
at all.
we say through any nature of its own, okay?
Right.
Usually we say through any nature of its own, but this says through any nature of its own or some other nature. Neither one.
Through any
And
nature.
neither does anything at all gakpa,
Stop.
stop through any go of wrong or shen.
Through any nature of its own or something else.
And what's the point? Is it true that nothing starts, and is it true that nothing stops?
No, that's not true.
But to one person's perceptions, it is true. An Arya in the direct perception, emptiness, doesn't see normal things, cannot see things start, cannot see things stop. A person who's watching emptiness directly cannot see things start and cannot see things stop. Okay, got it? So, he says the point of this verse is not to say there's no starting and stopping. It's to say to a Neljorpa,
Yogi,
who's in the Neljor Ngunsum,
the direct yogic experience.
yeah, they are mikbame.
They don't see anything of the sort.
They don't see starting and stopping because they don't see any of the stuff at all. They just see emptiness. They don't see any normal reality. Okay, he says you have to take it back to someone seeing emptiness directly. For them, nothing starts and nothing stops.
Cool.
Because they don't see the normal world anyway.
Yeah.
That's kind of an extreme statement, actually. Okay. All right, here we go.
Nipa lunga pangwala, kienjik sumpa chang ton tu ten, kienjik la tene rang shim mebar tok sutul, ngun shen chen ki mi tok parten me pa nam ki tok sulo.
This is hard. Lung Gyal Pang. Lung Gyal Pang.
We're rejecting contradictory scriptures.
Good. But say Lung Gyal
Lungal
Pang.
Pang.
Lung Gyal Pang.
Lungal Pang.
We deny accusations
Uh-huh.
that we have.
Contradicted.
Yeah.
No. Yeah,
Yeah.
we do not accusate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
deny
Uh-huh.
accusations from the other side that says you contradict the Buddha's own word. Okay, got it?
Uh-huh.
That's called Lung Gyal Pang. Okay?
That we contradict scriptures.
Yeah, he's saying you contradict. The Buddha said there was a Kyewa, and the
Uh-huh.
Buddha said there was a Jigpa.
Yeah.
So what the hell are you talking about? You know, you're contradicting Lord Buddha himself. And then we bang that contradiction.
Is this 3 parts of the Pang?
Exactly. 4, I think. 1,
4 parts. Yeah, yeah.
2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 parts. Here they are. Kenjik Sumba. Statements about starting and stopping by
Lord Buddha.
word Changden.
Figurative.
We're figured out.
Yeah, we are going to demonstrate,
Uh-huh.
besten,
Demonstrating.
how statements by Lord Buddha that things start and stop were not spoken literally. He was not speaking literally. Okay, that's pretty radical.
It is.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Buddha talk about impermanence, but they don't exist.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Kejik latene. So why did Buddha teach it?
Uh-huh.
Because there's a way in which you can perceive
realize-
emptiness
Uh-huh.
based on those 2 ideas.
Yeah, yeah.
By examining how things start and examining how things end, you can come to an understanding of emptiness. Therefore, it wasn't useless that Lord Buddha talked about it, even though he didn't mean what he said.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, got it?
Shuni Lama would not agree.
Yeah, well. Then, Nguyen Shen Chenki Mintopaten, Demonstrating how-
being super attached blocks you from having
good.
realization.
Yeah, demonstrating how people who are super attached wouldn't get it.
Wouldn't get it. Yeah.
Mitox wouldn't
Uh-huh.
get it. Okay?
Uh-huh.
And Mapanamgi Toksulo.
Have the way we have realization through various interpretations or something.
Mappa
or
means-
intentions. Intention.
Muppet means to aspire.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Sometimes it's used as what do you call it? Derogatory
Yeah. Chala.
for people. There's called
Manyama.
mupesa and topesa.
People realize the level, and people are.
As long as you're studying emptiness through explanations that you heard at the DCI talk, we say you like the idea of emptiness, muppa, but you don't get it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you're attracted. Here it's attracted. Okay, you're attracted. How do people who just go to a DCI talk and they're attracted to the idea of emptiness? Well, what's their state of mind? Where do we classify that state of mind? Is it a direct perception? Is it a correct perception? Or is it a wrong perception that just happens to be beneficial?
So this is how we
Okay.
classify the realizations.
Fourth, he's going to talk about what is the, what do you call that? Existential. There's another word.
Ontological
What's the ontological
status.
validity
Uh-huh.
of a person who's attracted to the idea of emptiness but doesn't really understand it?
Okay.
How do we count that attraction as something good or bad, or where do we count that? Mupachupitsa means levels of Buddhist practice where you are just trusting your teacher when they explain emptiness, but you don't understand it really, or you haven't seen it really. Normally that's the word mupa. I don't know where he's going, but they're called mupachupitsa. Then when you reach Tonglam, that's not mupachupi, that's like Munsum. Okay, got it?
The aspirational.
Sugar cane?
Yeah, it could be like
that's an
that.
aspirational one.
Okay, here's the outline. We went through all this stuff, and we finished our refutation of the nature of the 2 extremes. Things could start or things could stop. Now we're going to prove that by saying so, we don't contradict
Scripture.
Scripture. We don't contradict the Buddha. Okay, here we go. By the way, here's my note to myself.
That using the tech men on the tech menners. Cool.
This is the guts of Nick's text.
Yeah, right.
The point is, Nagarjuna says, the lower
Right.
teachings, Hinayana teachings of Lord Buddha, do prove emptiness, highest emptiness. But you guys just didn't understand it. Buddha taught you scriptures that could have helped you to see emptiness directly, but you're interpreting it as some lower thing. So this is a book he specifically wrote to prove to lower school people that Buddha was teaching them highest emptiness with their books and they didn't get it. So here's a section where he hits hard on his main theme of his book. Okay. One of his 6 most famous books. All right.
Tangponi kelte tetar kinjik ni misina chamdende ki.
Read that much.
First of all,
Yeah, good. The face to problem.
if it's that way, and starting and ending are impossible,
Good.
then the conqueror said.
Yeah, then his statement must be mirikpa.
Then what the conqueror has said must be incorrect. I see.
Yeah, okay. Okay,
yeah.
if this whole presentation here is of why things can't start and why things can't stop is correct, then Buddha is wrong.
Yeah.
Because Buddha said, here we go, Kema.
Kema tuje namita keshing jikpe chuchen yin kenen jikpar giwarwate te dagne war shiwate.
Wow. What's
Kema.
Kema?
Whoa.
Kema means wow. Kema means wow. Kedan Kaye, very famous. Kaye is the ancient form. Kvaye. Okay.
Hey.
Wow.
Hey. Produce things are impermanent.
Not duche.
Oh.
Duche.
Made thing. The same thing.
It boils down to the same group of things, but factors, things which make things, okay?
Things
which make things are impermanent. He didn't say produce things are impermanent, which is his usual shtick.
Right.
Okay, so sometimes purposely he says anything which does something is impermanent rather than anything which was done is impermanent. Okay, got it? Okay, and of course we should check the root. We should check the original and make sure it's not just some corruption over the years. Okay?
Right.
Then he says, look, these things are changing because they are things which display
starting and ending.
Starting and stopping. Okay? Because things which have started always
end.
Good. And
that's peace and happiness.
No. If you could stop that process, that would be happiness.
If you
could stop getting old, if you could stop losing everything you get, if things didn't start and stop, well, then we would be happy. Okay, got it?
So that Shiva is not. Is it the same?
Oh, you got to have a comma between Shiva and De. Putting those to rest would be happiness. Cool? Right. Plural, dual, twos, meaning Kyewa and Jikpa. If we could stop this process of things starting and then automatically stopping because they started, well, then that would be happiness. Things would last forever. Okay, go ahead.
Shekinji mena nyangde tobe tapsu sung mirikpa lesung be chir hyoto shena.
Yeah, so if there's no starting and no stopping, then it would be improper for Buddha to have described
reaching nirvana.
Yeah, reaching nirvana. Describe them as a method.
As a method
for reaching nirvana, meaning putting them to rest, actually, as a method of reaching nirvana. If there's no starting and stopping, then why did Buddha say putting them to rest could be a way to reach nirvana? Okay.
Have a field day with Shiva.
Yeah, Shiva. Now I went to check. I went to check the database. Okay. And guess what?
There's a mistake.
It's misquoted.
It's the collection of tailored teachings.
Yeah, that's the way I ended up. Yeah, this is targeted teachings or tailored. The same book, Udana Varga. Okay.
Which
Who was using it before?
word? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
words.
that was in
text
your
is using it.
quiz, right?
Yeah.
Even in his.
By the way,
Yeah.
why was it called Brahma Som?
It was called Brahmasum because in the text,
Good.
it basically says that those who understand the specific point should be treated as holy people. Like
Yeah.
Brahmins.
Good.
Right.
Good.
So
Cool.
Yeah.
no one calls it Brahmasum except Jason Copper apparently.
Hmm.
I'm not sure, but yeah.
Yeah.
So this book, this famous book in the Kangyur, called a collection of sayings that were targeted at different disciples. He gives it a nickname. His text calls it the collection of teachings about Brahma. And then it turns out that Brahma there refers to holy person, any holy person. Then in that case, Buddha would be Brahma. You see what I mean? So, good person. Then he says, who goes far and who goes alone, that I might call a good person. That's a holy person. And then that's where he got in trouble. Right? The far and alone. Okay, got it? And the other part of that says, who sleeps under a tree at night, as their Motel 6. Okay. I mean, that's all normal stuff. It doesn't talk about mind-only school and all that. They really pushed it. They pushed the envelope. Okay, here we go. So in the Udana Varga, I didn't... what was that? Oh, here it is. Okay.
Come on.
We should blow it up, right? Boom. Okay, there's the quotation. And we confirmed that the Duce is correct. It could have been wrong. Well, anything that starts and then stops,
Then stop. Anything that starts.
if you could put that to rest, that would be happiness. Oh, that's the same. Okay.
Yeah, everything.
All right, there you go.
Cool.
Next verse.
Kewa dangni jikpelam gongpe tundu tenpao.
Yeah.
That's it for now, right?
So the Tengyur version is quite different than the version quoted in your commentary by Gyaltsab J. And I think it's your text. I believe it's artificially inserted from other, they didn't get the insertions of the Tengyur correct. Whoever inserted Nagarjuna's text
Into the text.
was either using a different translation from the Sanskrit, or they were messing it up. Okay, so there's a lot of differences between our Tengyur and even how Gyaltsab J quotes it, and the quotes that someone inserted. So, but they're both useful because they could be an older translation. What happened when the Kangyur and Tengyur were put together?
Got set in stone.
All the other translations died automatically because people bought the whole set. They had volume 1, they had volume 4, and even though they didn't want a logic book, they had to buy volume 3. Okay? So the nature of the Kangyur, Tengyur 210 texts, 210 volumes, Kangyur 100 volumes, they got stuck. And all the translations got stuck. And all the other translators' work disappeared. Except for in early commentaries. So Jetson Karpa uses translations that he prefers, and they didn't survive. We don't have them. He quotes them a little bit, but we don't have them. They have disappeared. That's going to happen when the Mixed Nuts books come out in a series. You see, when you buy one, you have to buy into the other ones, because they'll have number on the spine, like this set here.
72.
Like this set here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, the version we set. Try to read that. You can read it.
Okay. Kewa dangni jikpelam. So, whatever starts as a path to destruction.
No, the path of starting and stopping was
Is the
Gongdun.
Was the true nature?
Was
the true
Changdun.
idea? Yeah. Was the literal idea of the
Changdun.
teaching?
Changdun.
Oh, it was the figure of the idea
Yeah.
of the teaching.
Yeah.
Well, where does it say Changdun?
it says Gongdun.
I thought that would be, I thought that would
Yeah,
be the
no,
true idea.
Gongdun is Chengdun. No, it's the opposite. Dode
Oh, right,
Gongda.
right. What he really meant.
Gongde Gongda. Sandhi Nirmochana Sutra. What was my Sandhi? What was I kind of thinking about?
Yeah.
Okay, what did I have in mind, right? So this sentence says, look, when Buddha taught that nirvana involves starting and stopping, hey, that was just Chengdun. Okay?
Yeah. that
He
was
didn't mean
I
it,
didn't mean it literally.
right? Up here.
Yeah.
He didn't mean it, right? They say, you're wrong when you say there's no starting and stopping. Then when Buddha said this is a way to get to nirvana through starting and stopping, then you're wrong if there's no starting and stopping. You contradict Sutra, Donggel, Lunggel. Okay, got it? Then we say, no, we don't contradict Sutra, because when Buddha said that stuff about starting and stopping, he was Chengdun.
He was being figurative.
He was just being figurative. He was referring to something higher. Okay,
So I was
got
just
it?
saying, this is what the true intent of the Buddha was. Of
Yeah,
The teaching.
Gombe Dendu Tenpa. He
Yeah.
taught it only as Chengdun,
Okay.
that path of starting and stopping, meaning to nirvana, path to nirvana.
Okay.
He just taught it as Chengdun. Now, our Tengyur, Gupe Dundu, not Gongbe. Big difference.
You got to understand the real meaning. I
This
guess.
Gupa means
The
according to the needs of the student.
Oh, okay. So still
Needs
yeah,
of the student.
Good pay dude.
Understand?
Uh-huh.
Which means he didn't mean it.
Yeah.
He just was in a group of stupid students at the time. Okay, understand? That's why he talked about nirvana, starting, stopping. That's the path to nirvana. He just said that. Okay, and then it says lay, not lam,
Right.
Oh boy.
in the Tengyur, right? This work,
Which kind of makes more.
or this,
sense.
I like lam better. I think it's lam, and I want you guys to check another Tengyur carving, okay? Our input of the Derga Tengyur says lay. He says lam. I like his lam better than lay, but I like the ge pretty well for gong. But I think you can read the gong and the ge as equal.
Okay.
In either case, this section is supposed to be where we prove it was Chengdun.
Figure.
So I'm okay.
yeah.
So it doesn't matter what the root
yeah,
text says.
it's working.
Okay, we're supposed to be proving that Buddha didn't mean it when he said things start and things stop. He was just trying to help the students. Okay, so whether you read it as Gongba or you read it as Gopa, it makes sense. Okay, Gongba Chen means Chengdun, synonym.
Yeah.
Gongba Chen and Chengdun are synonyms.
Okay.
That thing which had another thought behind it, Gongba Chen, and Chengdun, that thing which you have to reinterpret, they're the same. Okay? It's the difference between figurative and
Literal.
no. What's another word for figurative?
Interpretive?
Interpretable.
Provisional.
Anyway, there's two English words and they reflect the difference also. Between Gongba Chen, he had something else in mind, and Chengdun, which means you have to twist it to get to what he wanted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because gong by itself sometimes doesn't mean figurative, right? Gong by itself
Gong-
can just mean.
John would have to mean it requires interpretation.
Yeah.
And Gomba can just mean
To be interpreted, and
Real,
Metaphorical?
what he really meant.
no, the
I mean.
another, yeah, not literal,
Yeah.
figurative and literal. There's another word in English here. Okay, let's go. Here we go. Do that much.
Kyodang Jipa, starting and stopping from their own side. Sumpama. His words were not, they don't establish that things start and stop from their own side.
Yeah, this is not a statement
Yeah.
in which the Buddha says starting and stopping exist from their own side. This is not a statement.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what is it?
Chikten tampama yimpe lamdu chowa tindi de kona nila chor warnde. Start from there. Tupe kewa tang jikpe lam.
I'm going to read this for you, okay?
Cool.
People of the world
Uh-huh.
who were traveling a path which was not the best one,
Right.
okay? People of the world
Uh-huh.
who were traveling a path that was not the best one,
Uh-huh.
he wanted to bring them to Jorwa,
Uh-huh.
Dekonani.
Suchness.
So he was hoping to bring them to the idea of suchness. Wishing to do so, he taught Kewa
Starting.
and Jikpe Lam.
The path of starting and stopping.
Yeah.
So this is definitely Gyaltsab Je's version.
Because by learning that, they would be
Real-
able
to
to
realize this.
understand suchness.
Uh-huh.
Because teaching impermanence is a
A method.
method of understanding emptiness.
Uh-huh.
Okay? And so it was Gupe Dundu. For
It was
expediency,
for their needs. Yeah.
for expediency, he taught impermanence because that's a first step to emptiness. And that's why I thought I might make a nice note to talk about the last verse of the Jinkanjing,
Because he mentions impermanence so many times.
which mixes the two. And there's many people ask. I was in Tianjin teaching. Somebody stood up and said, what's the connection between the impermanence and the emptiness in the last verse of the Diamond Cutter? I want to kiss them. You know, I was like, wow, what a question, you know. And only in China you get these questions. But anyway, that's the whole point here. Buddha, yes, he did teach starting and stopping, but not because he thought things did. He just thought if you talk about impermanence, people might come to emptiness. Okay, got it? Yay. Go ahead.
Kenjik tempe to tang tun yin yang cha chishin ba yin be rang lu la kenjik kelen te te kelen ba tang tong ba shi chik la due chir tetar minna tendra la tempe kyapar gyor ro.
Yeah, good. Kenjik Tembe Do.
The sutra which teaches starting and
These
stopping.
sutra quotations which refer to starting and stopping, they're Dangten,
Figurative.
but they're Jaja Shimba.
But the
And
word,
that's where you gotta be touchy with the English.
but they do sound like that.
Yeah.
Sounds like
They are,
They're,
what's Changden?
they're
figurative.
They're figurative, but they're literal.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, right.
Oh,
This
Okay.
is Jetson Kappa's main shtick and turning it
It's very cool.
or maybe actual.
Well, you gotta play with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're figurative, but they're
Mean what they
literal.
say.
He meant Kiewa, he meant Jikpa, but the whole point of teaching it wasn't to take you to nirvana.
Right.
It was to take you to emptiness, which takes you to nirvana. Okay, so that's touchy. And there's English. What is that? Figurative and I don't know. What's the opposite of figurative? Literal.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, to be interpreted. There are differences in the English. Yeah.
Can't you say here, like, something like, those teachings had a, there are the actual things he meant, but they have a, like, figurative import.
Yeah, I would say, I think that's a great point. You can say they were not what he wanted them to get to, but he wasn't being metaphorical.
Right.
Metaphorical and figurative, different. That's the point. Okay, different things. And this is a touchy point, okay? He said what he meant, but he said it for a different reason.
Yeah.
Got it? Okay? And then you gotta that's a touchy thing in Tsongkhapa also. Is Ngedren the same as Drajishimba? Is literal the same as
Said what he meant, or something.
yeah, okay.
Uh-huh.
You gotta fight with that. Okay, Ranglugla,
In our system,
Genji Kilin.
we accept starting and stopping.
Yeah, and not only that, we say you can kelemba that
You can
with the same, and that qualities of KG can coexist with Tomba in the same object.
yeah, with emptiness.
One cup can be Kenjik and one cup can be Tomba at the same time. What's it mean?
it's starting and stopping, but it's also empty of starting and stopping.
and they don't contradict each other.
Yeah.
Okay, got it?
Mm-hmm.
Not only are they not contradictory, they like each other.
Uh-huh.
Okay, got it?
She cheek, yeah.
She
okay.
cheek
yeah,
in
the
one
same
thing.
Yeah.
They can come together
Do,
in one
yeah.
object. What? Saying that things are
Starting and stopping.
starting, stopping, and saying they're empty. They
Yeah.
get along fine in one single object. That's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Therefore, now he's going to draw a therefore. This is the because. Okay. Because blah 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 blah. Then
If it weren't that way,
Yeah.
then the truth of dependence. If it weren't that way, tendra la denpe, then by the
now
truth.
listen to the English. Okay, and tell me what's going on. You ready? If it were not that way,
Yeah.
then all things that are dependent would have to be real.
Right.
Uh huh.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Because one of the
Okay,
things
if it were not that way, then all things that are dependent would have to be real. So this Demba, you can't say, this Demba has to be the wrong real. Okay? Real from their own side,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Existent
Okay?
truth.
Especially if you're Baba Viveka.
Uh huh.
Okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
tough, boy. Gato J. He can't even make a little closing summary without kicking our butt.
Yeah.
Okay. He advertised it as a little closing summary. And then he made a whole new idea, right? That's typical. Okay, here we go.
Nipala ngetang penya no. So secondly, the
Yeah.
benefits and the actual.
We were going to show why we don't contradict the Buddha's word, right?
Uh huh.
And so now we're going to have to nail down how it is that you can use starting and stopping as a method
Uh huh.
to do what?
See emptiness.
To see emptiness, okay? So now we're going to nail down that point. We said Buddha just talked about starting and stopping as a stepping stone to seeing emptiness. But what's this now? Then the guy says, well, how? How's that stepping stone work? I said, I'll tell you how it works. Let's do part 2 here. Okay. By the way, this structure is being imposed on the text by
Us.
Gyaltsab-je, and he's a master at that. For example, in the downstairs, in the
Oh, Bodhisattva Charyavatara.
yeah, Gyaltsab-je gave you the outline at the end of each reading, which
Yeah.
no one ever reads.
Oh, you didn't make those? I thought you brought. Yeah. That's cool.
No, that's Gyaltsab-je.
I didn't know that.
No,
That's
no,
cool,
yeah,
yeah.
that's he imposes an outline on Shantideva, and it's cool. It works, and now he's doing it on Nagarjuna,
Okay.
which makes sense because Nagarjuna seems to have ADD. He seems to just skip on to the next thing with no. They're all deep verses, but you can't see any flow to it. You know why he keeps jumping around? And Gyaltsab-je says, "No, there's a logical flow." What were you going to ask?
Can you scroll up a little bit again? I just
Yeah.
wanted. So the penyan is just referring to the benefit of seeing emptiness. If you scroll up a little bit more.
Oh,
Penyan.
the actual explanation how an understanding of starting and stopping
Can help us.
can help you move on to emptiness.
Okay.
And then the benefits of starting someone on starting and stopping and then taking them to emptiness. Why it's a useful method for
Okay.
newbies, basically. Okay, so the 2 parts to showing the segue
Yeah.
between starting and stopping and emptiness.
Okay. Cool.
And secondly, he's going to talk that up as a method.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
So first of all, Dangponi Kenjik Tempala Gupa Chiyoche Na.
You can translate that.
If it is the case that he taught starting and stopping for people who needed it, for those in need.
No, Gupachi.
Oh, whoever needed it? No.
What's the point?
What's the need of teaching
Yeah.
starting and stopping?
So you claim
What's the use?
he didn't have to teach starting and stopping, but he did,
Yeah.
and you claim there's some special reason for it. What?
Yeah.
Why did he start with something that wasn't true? What's the point? What's the necessity for him to do that?
Okay. kewa shepe, jikpe she, jikpa shepe, mitak she, mitak nila, juk shepe, dampe che kyang tuk pan gyur.
If you understand starting, you will understand
Understand stopping.
stopping. If you understand stopping, you will understand impermanence. If you are able to engage in the idea of impermanence, you
You
will
realize that
understand the highest object.
highest
Don't
thing.
treat this as the holy dharma.
Highest
Don't
thing.
translate this as holy dharma. What's dampecha?
Highest object, emptiness.
Emptiness.
Yeah.
Okay, got it? It's a flow, right? Let's do
That's-
it again.
that's really cool.
Do it again.
If you understand
Kewa.
starting, you'll understand stopping.
Good.
If you understand stopping, you'll understand impermanence.
Good.
And if you understand, if you can
This
engage,
kind of, if you mull
yeah,
over, if you mull
impermanence.
over impermanence,
then you'll understand the highest thing. You'll realize the highest thing.
yeah, and that's Jinkanting. That's the
Uh-huh.
last verse of Jinkanting.
Yeah.
Right? Very cool.
Cool.
Yay, something we can understand, maybe.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Chipa pume la chakpa tokpar chawe chir tu chomten. Chomten de ki
I'm just going to say
kenjik
through.
ten. Tetar
But
kewe
maybe it's a D, maybe it's a
shepe
secondary suffix.
chikpa yang shepan gyorte. Chikpani kewe tsawa chen yempe chir.
Now, why did Buddha teach impermanence if he was supposed to be taking us to emptiness?
Mm-hmm.
Because chivas have charpa towards pumes.
Because we have desire, because we like girls.
Yeah.
Those of us
No,
who
but
haven't seen
chivas.
kids, those of us who haven't seen emptiness directly yet.
2-year-olds.
Infants, 2-year-olds.
Okay, this is the insulting word in Buddhism for people who didn't see emptiness. We call them, in English, American English, we say, he's acting like a 2-year-old. It means he doesn't get what he wants, he cries. Immature. So people who didn't see emptiness in Buddhism, they're called chiba. And we started out with a lot of chibas
Lot
in
of
your
chibas.
text. Yeah.
We like girls.
Yeah, they get attached to women. Okay.
So in order to get rid of that
Yeah, and to
attachment,
stop that,
the
the
conqueror
Chomdende,
taught starting and stopping.
why would that help with a girl addiction?
Because you see that her body's going to get really old and gross eventually.
Yeah, I always tell people when they fall in love with some woman and she's 12, she's 18 and they're 40, then I say, well, go check out her mother first. Because that's what she's going to be in 30, you know.
I wonder if that ever
Okay.
works.
It doesn't work at all.
Yeah,
Nothing, no logic can overcome hormones.
Yeah,
Let's
come
just
on.
put it, okay? So, in order to stop the desire that 2-year-olds have for girls, well, the Buddha taught about starting and stopping, okay? Go ahead, Deta Kewa.
I think I read. Deta Kewa. Oh,
I'm sorry,
no, it's
because if you get the starting, you will get the
stopping.
stopping,
Yeah.
okay? Because stopping starts with
Starting.
starting, yay. Okay.
Starting's the root of stopping.
Exactly.
That's where it
and
comes from.
It's even the stopping has as its root starting.
Yeah.
Okay, literally. Are we still have some time?
No.
We're out of time technically, although I'm trying to stall for Stanley and Allison to get back. And
Let's keep
so-
going. Can we do one more sentence?
Yes.
You guys okay?
Are we okay, Scott, for the other meeting? Okay, we have a little bit of time.
Okay, go.
And jikpa
Jikpa
shepe teton chikpe mitakpa shepan gyorla.
This is a deep sentence. Tell me.
Jikpa shepe. If you by understanding stopping,
Good. You will understand
impermanence.
because it's
The same thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't forget the root text is a dark black. Okay, so that's why he said, by understanding stopping, you'll understanding impermanence because they amount to the same thing.
Yeah.
You will understand. And soft conjunction.
In the 3 realms.
Stop it, Duke. Okay. Kam sum.
Impermanence in the 3 realms.
Yeah, is a me.
Yeah, a fire.
Is a fire which is raptabawa.
Really burning.
Blazing.
Yeah, and we are Duke in the Nangdu.
Staying in that fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, within it. Yeah.
We are sitting in,
In
the fire
Nice.
of impermanence
In the 3 realms.
of the world.
Of the,
We are We're in the middle of a burning house
Uh-huh.
where everyone has to die.
Uh-huh.
We are sitting in the middle of a burning house right now in the scriptorium. And if you get it,
Yeah, now you understand that.
you will
You'll
do it
want-
to dawa from it.
To transcend it.
Good, you'll want to get out of it.
Yeah.
You'll get hungry to get out of it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you will,
Engage in emptiness.
yeah.
So it's all about, it's like a lam rim. It's like if you're
Now,
motivated to
yeah.
practice.
Yeah. By the way, tricky. The Dhammacha is not emptiness here.
Yeah, it's the holy dharma.
Well, it's not that either.
Oh.
But Gyaltsab splits this one.
Yeah.
He says, Mita Tong Ni. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Got it?
Yeah.
And he says Dunchik, they're one thing, and he treated
Wow,
it as
that's
one in the
that's really
text.
interesting
Yeah.
'Cause they're one
Okay.
thing.
Then this can't be emptiness anymore.
because he already said emptiness.
And then this has to be arhat ship.
Aha.
Okay.
Uh-huh. The
They
Abhidharma.
kona nila jupa shape. And if you get the nas, okay, it's impermanence, right?
Uh-huh.
And he says impermanence.
Uh-huh.
If you get the nence,
Uh-huh.
which is the,
Referenced emptiness.
really cheating.
Uh-huh.
Gyaltsab is pushing it hard.
Yeah, really.
Okay, if you get the nence of impermanence, which belongs to emptiness,
Emptiness.
it's that
Empty
artificial.
nose.
It's that artificial. Okay, he split mitagni. Okay,
Uh,
totally artificial.
that's funny.
And if you get there, well, then you get to the ultimate dharma,
Uh-huh. Abhidharma.
which is nyananedepa.
Uh-huh. Nirvana.
Good.
Well, but
And
for him,
that nirvana is not in any way
elaborative.
Yeah. Differently.
the
Tamide.
Oh.
Same.
Chudra,
To go without free
which is
elaboration.
tomba, is not separate from nirvana.
Right.
Emptiness
Elaboration
is not
of freedom, which is
the emptiness,
uh-huh.
which is the end of all elaborations,
Uh-huh.
isn't
Not
different from
Nirvana.
nirvana. That's the same thing. Natural nirvana.
Yeah.
Right.
Rang Shin Yang
Which is we've been going back and
Got
forth
it?
on.
Right.
Damani Sumba Dokshin Konda Chupagyo. If you get it, you will see it.
Uh-huh. You
Okay.
really get it.
Yeah.
Okay, got it?
Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's incredible. And what was his goal?
To use their scriptures.
No, the immediate goal here was to show.
That the
How
impermanence leads to
impermanence takes you to emptiness.
Yeah.
Starting and stopping leads to
Yeah,
emptiness.
Buddha was trying to prove something.
Yeah.
Buddha was hoping they would get it when he described impermanence,
Yeah.
but it didn't work out.
Uh-huh. So he tried starting and stopping.
Then he had to go teach Mahayana.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, it didn't work out.
Mahayana.
To be honest, it didn't work out.
Uh-huh.
He was thinking if he taught about impermanence, that would carry them to
Oh,
emptiness.
Right, right.
Alas.
But it didn't work out. And then the guardian had to come and write this book.
Uh-huh. Okay, sure.
Got it?
Yeah.
Second.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's really sexy.
Yeah.
All right, I think we stop there. Huh?
All right.
You want to see?
What? Yeah, that's cool.
Which means, by the way, next we're going to see how cool it is to use how cool it is to use dependence or impermanence as a method to see emptiness.
Yeah.
Opinion. Oh, it's so cool.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It's so cool. It's so easy to get people into death discussion and then slip emptiness in on them.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
To use Kenji.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Stopped here. What's the date? 22?
22.
Oh, that's our last class of the term.
Yeah, that's our last class. I know. Thank you. Number 60 for you.
Yeah.
I guess
got
that does include the
the
notes.
60 verses is my 60th one.
Aha.
Yeah. When I'm 60, I'll think about it.
I'm 60, I'll think about it.
When I'm 60.
Sashipuki Jushing Meituk Chari Rabling Shi Nyendegen Pali Sangye
sakam niryatayami. Kewadi kewokun sunam yeshe glentoshing sunam yeshe lechungwe Dalbakunyi What's cool about that last verse?
It's already guarded in
yeah.
this book.
It comes from this book. It's the last verse of this book. It's the last verse of this book. That's cool. What else is? By the way, I just want to encourage you. So that now books are finishing, which is a big deal. We didn't know if we would ever get this far, and now we got this far, and now books are flowing out. We finished 4 or 5 books now. Now the game is what?
Editing and publishing.
Getting them out to the
Yeah.
public, and that's a lot of work. Okay, so please don't rest on your laurels and say, "Oh, I finished the translation." It doesn't mean anything if you don't make a book. Okay, if it doesn't get out, it doesn't mean anything. Okay, so and I can't do that all. I can't do everything. Okay, wham. You guys have to do that part. Okay, get the book out. Okay, edit it and print it
Yeah.
and get it out. You guys can do that.
Yes.
Right? Promise?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Few closing statements, if you don't mind.
Yep.
Depressing things first, and then cheerful things. Depressing things. In 7 days, please have 3 real apps